One thing that really makes me angry about many forms of Christian Zionism is its certainty and arrogance. And I was very impressed by Wayne's presentation this morning, very humble. On the other hand, many other Christian Zionists, when they present their theology, they seem almost 1000% sure that what is happening today here is fulfillment of prophecy, just as they are 100% sure that Iran or Russia or China is the ultimate enemy, and the list keeps changing, and in the process, many nations are demonized. I know, and I've heard the argument that right now maybe the picture does not look nice. And that maybe in the end it will be more perfect. But let me say, the picture is very messy to us right now. The picture is incredibly painful to us right now. Problem with many evangelical Christians is that they are prophecy fanatics, not prophetic. There is a lack of prophetical call, an ignorance of Jesus' teachings, and indeed many Old Testament teachings about how to treat the poor, the widow, the oppressed. And this is serious. So many evangelicals have dealt with the conflict really, only through the lens of prophecy. And I wish, by the way, I have the time to share with you the names of some of the websites that criticize the conference. Rapture ready, rapture is here, the end times are here. We are obsessed with end times. Very little obsessed with being prophetic. The way many evangelicals has dealt with this conflict really reminds me of the story of the Good Samaritan. It's the same old story of passing by a wounded and victimized person and looking down at him and doing nothing. One of the most typical and most common reactions we hear from many Christian Zionists when they are asked about the situation of Palestinians. Do you know what they say? It's unfortunate. People look at the conflict, the dead, the refugee, the wall, the daily humiliations. Tourists pass by the checkpoint, past the refugee camp, into the Nativity Church. They look at the wall, and all they could say is, it's unfortunate. No, it's not unfortunate. That's the wrong word. If you have a mug of coffee and you pull it down, that is unfortunate. People victimized in the name of God and the Bible, that is not unfortunate. It makes me wonder whether we as evangelicals have lost our conscience. How have we become so apathetic to many of the sufferings of the world? Sometimes just for the sake of being politically right, or simply that we have other religious duty when we go visit the church. You know, the two persons who passed by the wounded person were religious people. They had other religious duties, probably. Maybe they didn't want to defile themselves thinking that he was dead, that person. So they passed by. Maybe they looked at the person and said, it's unfortunate. The irony for us, Palestinian Christians, is that evangelicals, with their overemphasis on prophecy, have lost the capacity of being prophetic. You want to prove that the Bible is right? You don't do this by pointing to self-fulfilling prophecy or by pointing to world events as prophecy fulfillment. This is not how you prove that the Bible is right. We prove that the Bible is right by radical obedience to the teachings of Jesus, by proving that Jesus' teachings actually work and that they can make the world a better place. Let us love our enemies, forgive those who sin against us, let us feed the poor, care for the oppressed, walk the extra mile, be inclusive, not exclusive, turn the other cheek, and maybe, and only maybe then, the world will start taking us seriously and believing in our Bible. My call for the church today is be prophetic. In other words, be the church. The world is in desperate need of a conscience. The world needs us. We are the light, the salt. Get involved. There is a lot of energy in this room, and I can see it. And we saw it yesterday in the great praise and worship that we've done in all the seminars. Let us channel this great energy, spirit-filled energy, in the right direction. Promote a culture of peace. Be peacemakers yourselves. It is possible. We, the evangelical community, have a lot of potential within us, empowered by the Spirit and by our obedience to the teachings of Jesus. We can make a difference. Let us not underestimate what we have. Be radical. There is no hope in the world, and the political situation in this part of the world looks darker than ever. The world is in desperate need of radical people like us who preach peace and good news. My last point is that we need each other. An Irish proverb says, "It is in the shelter of each other that we live." We cannot afford division anymore. Different theology, different interpretation of end times, we can dialogue about these, but let us not allow these things to divide us. Let us continue with our dialogue and affirm our unity in Christ and work together for the kingdom. The Palestinian church must survive in Palestine. We must continue to be a light and provide hope in this part of the world. For this, we need each other's. Will you hold my hand? Will you help me stand? Will you listen to my cry? Would you walk next to me? Pray with me? Would you help me shine the hope of Jesus in this dark world? Thank you.